Okay, I think we can start now, inshallah. Yeah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So today is the second day of the Bayaan Codes class, learning HTML and CSS for web design. Inshallah, I'll pass the mic to Akhi Rafiq to proceed, to continue from yesterday, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
Oh iya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, alhamdulillah, just continue from where we stopped yesterday. So for the links and all that, I think inshallah brother Hisham can attend to the queries. So we will need our brackets, the editor. Just open up your brackets. Okay. And just open up the folder that we used yesterday. Index. Right? Or you can also open the folder. You can either open the file or the folder. I'll show you how you can do this. You can click on open folder. You click on open folder, you can just click on click the folder itself. You see over here. Oh, I haven't shared my screen, sorry. Okay. So back here again. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna click on brackets, launch brackets. Okay. I want it to file an open folder. When you open the folder, you just open the topmost folder. That means if you have saved it in the Bayaan Codes, open the Bayaan Codes folder. When you open the Bayaan Codes folder, all the contents of the Bayaan Codes will be on your left panel. Okay, so you have your images here also. Remember we downloaded the image yesterday, so you can see your images here also. And of course, we have the files. I had sent a link earlier on just for you to read. Maybe you can take some parts of it so that you can put them under the pillars over here. All right, so that is for the content. You don't have to take everything. You can just take some 1 or 2 paragraphs from them. Okay. All right, so today we will continue with a bit of HTML in the first part, and then after that I'm going to jump to the CSS, how you actually beautify them. Are there any questions at this point? Click open folder, nothing came. Okay, which folder are you referring to, sister? Is there anything in the folder itself? You should, I mean, if you go to your Windows Explorer, you should actually see a folder called Bayaan Codes. Do you have that? Okay. So when you click open folder on the brackets, you don't see anything. Is that what you're trying to say? But when I click open folder in the brackets, nothing came. Do you have anything at all here? Nothing at all. Click file, open folder. Did you open the right folder? No drops. Sorry, I don't get you. What no drops mean? No drop down. Is it? I download the image, but it show a broken link. Ah, it's okay. The link. All right. What is the name of the link? For a link to be broken is very common, right? Just choose the latest version, not the pre-release, but the version which is stable. I think it's on your left hand side. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, Sister Lila, can you manage to open the file? You should have the file that we were working on yesterday. Download the image. Can you check the image name? Tarmizi. Can you check the image name? And this is what I enter image, downloads. Why do you put downloads? Okay. Why do you have downloads? Tarmizi, brother Tarmizi, is it? The source is wrong. This
Yeah,
is
if the source is your desktop, not downloads.
Yeah, this downloads is not this. And also, okay, a very good question and also a very good thing. When we say source, right? If let's say I just put shahada.jpg, it means the source is referring to the existing current directory. Okay, source equals to, let's say, mushaf.jpg. It's referring to current directory. Is that clear, everyone? This is an important thing that you need to know. This is called the path. Okay, whenever you just have the file name, that means you are telling the browser, look, it's in the same folder where I am. So just look for him. You get what I mean? It's like, you're in a room and then there are a few Ibrahims there scattered all over different rooms. Then you say, I'm looking for Ibrahim. It's the Ibrahim that is in the room. But if you want to look for another Ibrahim, which is in another unit, in another room, then you have to specify that I'm looking for the third unit, the second room, that Ibrahim. Right? Open usually will open a file. When you click on open folder, you just click on open folder. If you want to just open up the index.html, yes, you can do that also. But opening a folder is good because then you can see all the other folders, because we're going to create another subfolder today for the CSS. Sister Leila, do you manage to open again? Can you send, can we send screenshots, right? Okay, I think Brother Isham will take care of that. I'll just continue with the class for today, inshallah. All right, so we already have our editor open, and I also have my browser. Okay, I'm just going to put them side by side. Of course, if you have two screens, it will be good. Okay. All right. So just to make sure everything is working, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type something over here. Okay, I'm just going to say Learn Islam today. I'm going to save this, or I can just do Control S. And after that, I'm going to reload my page. So I know that this thing is working. Okay, that my editor is working and my browser is also displaying all the changes that I have made to my editor. Okay, you can try that on your own also. Let's go to the HTML tutorial. For those who have not been here, I think you will have to watch the video we had yesterday on YouTube. Okay, I'm just going to show you a few more stuff on HTML. Okay. On a HTML file, on a web page, I'm sure we have seen tables also most of the time. So we can also create tables. That means we can arrange our data into rows and columns. All right. So if you see over here, there is an example of a table in the tutorial. It has 3 columns, right? And one being the column for the header. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna copy this. This is the HTML tag for the table. Also paste it over here. And I'm going to most probably paste it. I don't know, I have an idea for this. But before that, we'll just see how it comes out. Okay. So I've copied the table, copied the text for the table. So it starts with a table. TR refers to table row. Okay, and then it refers to the header, means the columns, right? And this refers to the column. This is for the header and this is for the columns. So TD is, that means in this particular row, how many columns are there? There are 3 columns. So if you want to have another column, then you add another line similar to this. Is that clear? Okay. So we already know that these are the syntax, or this is the how we actually do the markup in order for us to have a table. So let's save this file. Go to the browser. I'm going to reload. And here. Okay. So I see there's a table below. Comes out below. Okay. So this is if you want to use a table. Right. We don't exactly have many tables to use in websites because there are also other containers that we can use to display in the format of a table. Okay, can try this out. Maybe tables can be used to put in value, like you can actually use like for Umrah dates, maybe under the 5th pillar for Hajj and all that. You can actually use it, or you know, there are a list of travel agencies doing Umrah in Singapore, something like that. So you can have a column for the company name, or you can have the Umrah dates, and then you can have a contact number. Of course, you can have more than 1 column and more than 1 rows. Okay, any questions on the table? Yes, you can actually put in the borders and all that stuff, so you can add in more attributes. Right, I don't want to go in detail on the attributes because you already have the links to this website, so you can play around over here. If you see over here, see, you can click add them. So how do you add the border later when we do our CSS? We can come back to this part here. Right?
Afwan, Akhi Rafiq.
Yes.
Can I just give me 1 minute? I'll just have I need to show Sister Leda how you to open the folder.
Yeah, I have to stop sharing, right?
Stop sharing for a while. I just share for a minute.
Yes, sure, no problem.
Okay. Okay, can you see my bracket window now? Sister Lela? Okay, so when you click on file, click on open folder, there will be a folder that come out. There will be a window that come out. Then you go to the folder that you saved the file previously. Then from there, you just click select folder here. Select this folder. And then it will come out on the left side here. You can click on index. So Waalaikumsalam.
Okay. The thing is, right, you know the initial stage when you open the bracket itself, the blank page,
Yeah.
it just stays
Okay.
like that. So no matter what I click, be it file, open file, new or save as, it doesn't move anything. It just stays like that. No folder, no drop downs, nothing. There is no option at all. It just stays as a blank page as it is.
You mean you cannot see the side panel here as well?
No, nothing come out.
Okay, when you click file and open folder, is there a window pop up?
No, nothing.
Nothing as well.
You know, when I click file, the drop down come out as per what you
Yeah.
this come out. But no
Then?
matter what I press after that, new
Yeah.
folder, new, open, close, nothing happened. It just stays like that.
Oh, so it doesn't pop up a new window
Yeah,
to ask you
nothing.
to select a folder.
Correct. I actually had difficulty in downloading bracket as well. It's been 3 times extension.
Did you
I have
download?
to do
Which version of the bracket do you download?
the one that you asked me to download, the 1.
The 1.4 something
Yeah,
like that.
correct.
Okay. Maybe you can try to install and then restart your CPU for your PC again, and
I'm
then we can
actually
see how.
using a laptop.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
You want me to uninstall the bracket, is it?
I'm not sure. Akhir Rafiq, what do you suggest?
Maybe can you share your
Yeah, okay. I stopped my share.
Yeah, share your screen, then we can just see what is.
Just give me a second.
Okay. Okay.
See, no matter what I press, it doesn't come out anything.
Oh, okay.
Can you maximize it? Can you maximize the thing again?
Just give me a second.
Yeah. Maximize it. Okay, just hang on. Just hang on. Okay, even open is not working, is it? Open. Can you just go to file open? File open.
I
File
just click that.
open.
So there's nothing also.
Okay, it's okay. Then now go to your Windows Explorer and then to the folder. Close. You can close this one. You can close this.
Sorry, a second.
Yeah, sorry.
I already actually opened the one that we did yesterday. It's just that I cannot connect it to the brackets.
It's okay. What you just okay, go to your Windows Explorer, go to the file, right click and open with brackets.
Just give me a second. I'm not really sure where to go about here.
Okay. It's okay, just go to the file. Where did you save the file? In documents, is it?
Documents, yes.
Okay, go to documents.
Yeah.
Are you on the file now?
Yeah, there.
Okay,
Index.
right click.
Right click which one? Index.
Yes,
Yeah,
right click index directory, because if you double click, it will open up the browser. Right click. Is there an open with option?
There.
Open as brackets project.
This one?
So we cannot see your screen actually.
We cannot see your screen, yeah.
Sorry. Okay, it's already sorry, yeah. Already open with brackets. Same thing.
No, sorry, you mean you right click and you open up, is it?
Yes, I open with brackets and it's open now, but
but it's blank, is it?
Maybe yeah. I think you have to uninstall and install again.
Okay, then I'll just do that and then.
Okay, it's okay. Do you have Notepad ++?
No, I don't.
Are you using Windows?
Yes, Windows.
If you're using Windows, there should be Notepad++. Can you just type Notepad++?
In the search area, the bottom left.
Or Windows 10, right? Yeah.
Actually, my Windows 10 also don't have Windows Notepad. That's a normal Notepad.
Yeah,
Oh.
I have Notepad, but no Notepad++.
Oh, I see.
You
Okay.
have to download that one.
Okay, I thought it's pre-installed.
I see. Never mind. I'll just
Okay,
try to do this again.
Yeah.
Carry on with the class. I don't want to pull them down.
Yeah, okay, but no problem. What you can do is
Use the web browser one.
yeah, you can still use the web browser one. Do you have the link, right? Just click open whatever we are doing. I think you might have issues on the images, but other than that, you won't have any other issues.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just stop. I'll just continue from here. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I send the link to the web browser one in the chat.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll continue. Huh?
Okay, bismillah.
All right. So this is the table. Right. So for the table, if you can see over here, you can make the borders, can change the sizes, headers, the padding, spacing, the row span, how big is each table, column group, and all this. Right. We've already gone through the HTML list, and the block and inline is a bit technical. I don't want to go through that. Okay, you can read on your own. And then we have classes, which will be linked to CSS later on. There's this thing called HTML iframes. I want you to click on that. Okay, so iframe is actually a web page displayed on a web page itself. I repeat again, an HTML iframe is used to display a web page within a web page. Okay, let's try this out. All right. You just click on the editor. Can you see over here? This HTML frame, it means it's actually another web page which is embedded into the web page. Okay. So knowing this now, we can actually all right, I'll just choose. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to click on something. All right. So if you go to your YouTube, right, on the YouTube video, you would see something like this, share. You will see something like this, share. If you click on share, you will come across a few options. The option that we are interested in, the option that we will be using to what we call the process or the act of embedding. That means we're going to put this on another page. We're going to put it on our existing page. All right. So this, can you see here? Can you see the term iframe? So it comes up to show you the codes for the iframe. Right. And of course, we have got many other stuffs here that you can actually even show when you want to start or which time you want to start and all that, right? So I want you to just copy this. Okay. Or you can just click on copy here. Okay, if you see, they will say that link is copied to the clipboard. And go back to our brackets. Just below or before the table. Okay, you put it before the table. So now we are using HTML to embed a YouTube video on our page. Clear? That's what we are doing right now. Repeat the step. Brother Hamza, which step are you referring to? Is everyone following? Did you manage to get the copy share? Oh, yeah. Just click on share. When the share option comes out, click on embed and then copy the codes there. You will see something like this. Can you see that this is a HTML tag, right? It's a iframe. That was what we were going through earlier on iframe. So it's going to open, YouTube is a web page, right? Every YouTube video is actually a page. So that page, we are going to embed it onto our page over here. Of course, you can use any other YouTube videos that you want to embed, right? If you're doing a website on recipes or cooking, then you can put in the relevant pages. Sorry, the relevant videos. Okay, can I just have a show of hands? Is it click on embed? Yes, click on embed, yes. Is everyone okay? Yes, click on copy. Okay. So I'm just going to save this. You don't have to wait for me to save. And I'm going to reload this page. You see over here? Can I have a show of thumbs up who managed to embed a YouTube video on the web page? Has anyone done this before, or is this the first time? Or anyone has done this before? Using the iframe? So there are two ways you can do it. One is you can link to the web, you can link it on using a hyperlink, but you will open up another page. But this one, it will embed the video itself on your what do you call that? It will on your web page. Okay. All right. So I hope you understand that we are not going to go through all the HTML elements, but we already know how to use an element, right? Whatever blocks that you want to use, we have used the basic ones, like we know how to put the headings, we know how to use paragraph, we know how to insert an image, we know how to reference the image. We also know how we can troubleshoot if there's a problem with the image, if there is a broken link. We also learn how to embed a YouTube video. And you can also embed in another web page on the using the iframe. With that one, you can get it from the tutorial site itself. Okay. Okay. Just another one, which we might be interested in, is using a HTML page. We can also create a HTML form. forms have their own set of elements. They have a text box, they have a label, right? So they have their own set of elements. I'm just going to go through. These are the forms that you will actually see on your, even on your WordPress site also you'll have it, right? But the underlying codes that's written is using HTML. So HTML forms, they call it, right? And of course, when you do the submit button, some other technology might take over, like JavaScript, or if you're doing on back end, it's done by PHP or Python or stuff like that. Okay, what we are going to learn, not how to create or how to submit a button that will go to your email. I'm just going to show you how we are actually going to create a very simple form using some of the very basic form controls. So this text box, we refer this to as a control, a form control or a web control. This is known as a label, and this is a button, right? So the HTML form element is used to create an HTML form for user input. Of course, we know that when we have a form, that means it is something that the user can interact with. Okay, so the form element is a container for different types of input elements, such as text fields, checkboxes, radio buttons, submit buttons. What's the difference between a checkbox and radio button? Can anyone share on the chat? When do you use a checkbox and when do you use a radio button? Checkbox for multiple choices. MashaAllah, very good, Brother Amshah. Yes, when you want to allow the user to have more than one, to choose more than one options, then you provide them with a checkbox. Okay. And for radio button, is you can choose either one. When they're grouped together, you can just choose either one of them. All right. But if you think further, then you would know now they are using the checkbox for something that they used to use the radio button. Okay. There were forms before that was used for only, they only use the radio button, but today they would use the checkbox. Okay. Don't know if you can guess it right, but you don't have to mention it. Okay, the input element, you can put in, the input element is the most used form element, so it can be displayed in many ways, depending on the type attribute. So if you want to put input type text, it will display a single line text input field. Input type radio, it will display a radio button. Input type checkbox, it will display a checkbox. Input type submit, it will display a submit button. Input type button, display a clickable button. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this. Paste it over here. Okay. And I'm going to give you a task to do. Did you manage to get the form displayed on your web page? Just copy. I'm just going to put all on this page first, right? Then I'm going to save it, and I'm going to. Okay, so can you see first name, last name? Okay, good. So you create a form for user to input personal details with the submit button. The form should include at least one of the following: text box, radio buttons, and check boxes. Right? So what I meant, I think I'm probably I didn't explain properly. You should include at least one text box, one radio button, and a checkbox. Okay, and also a submit button. So I'll give you about 10 minutes now. Can you do that? After this, then we can, after 10 minutes, we can go through the CSS. CSS is fun because it's the whole aesthetics for the website. Cannot get the image to load. Okay, can you share your screen? I'll stop my, can you please share your screen? Is that possible? Brother Tarmizi, if you can share your screen, we can sort your issues out. Host disabled. I think probably Radisham. Okay, I will stop sharing now. Please share and if possible, unmute yourself. Thank you. You're using the editor, is it?
Assalamualaikum, brother.
Waalaikumsalam. So are you
Yes.
using the editor?
Yes.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
is using that. So if you can see
If you are
my
using,
screen.
wait, sorry, if you are using the editor, then yes, you will have an issue because this editor is not on your local machine.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
When you say source, right, it means it's referring to, for if you want to use the editor, then I tell you what you can do, just to show you. You don't have a, what do you call that? You don't have this editor at all, is it?
No.
The bracket.
Not, yeah.
Or you don't have that?
Hold on. I can use another laptop because this one they are using the school one, so they cannot download.
Oh, I see. Okay. Never mind. Once you have an editor, you would be able to see the image. Okay. The other thing that you can do is, okay, you can copy all of these and you can use a notepad also. But the reason why we don't use notepads because in the notepad, you won't have these different types of colors. You won't have the color-coded scheme. Okay, so it's quite difficult for us to make changes as developers.
I can use bracket, right?
Yeah, if you have brackets, yes, that will be the best.
Okay, so if I copy this and paste in the bracket, it should work.
Yeah, can you just show me where these images, you have the images folder, right?
I don't know,
Yeah,
because
but
just now I went to this Unsplash, right?
Yeah.
So for example, what
Download.
do I do first? Just
Okay.
download.
Okay.
Download with this one. I'll show in the folder. So
okay, you would have downloaded already.
No,
now do you have a folder called which folder is the file is in? The index.html.
Images.
No, index.html.
Index HTML.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have an index.html, right? Sorry, you're
Yeah.
using virtual editor, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So what you need to do is, okay, I will show you. Just copy the file.
So which one? The image?
Copy the codes. Go to
Oh,
your
the codes,
the editor.
Okay.
Can you toggle to your editor? Not this editor. This one. Yeah, can go. Yeah, the editor.
Okay.
Yeah, click and then Control A. Yeah, copy everything. Open up your notepad.
Normal notepad is okay, or does it have to be notepad plus plus?
Huh?
Does it have to be notepad plus plus or just
No,
normal
just
notepad?
open up notepad also can. I'll just show you. Can you? But I need to see. Can you open up the notepad, brother? Just share your desktop and open up the notepad.
Where is it? This one? 1 minute.
When you open up the notepad, paste it on a new page. If you have notepad plus plus, is better. If not, notepad is also possible. But the reason why we don't use notepad, you don't have to download, you can just use notepad also. The existing notepad, you're using a Windows machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just look for notepad. There's notepad, you just type notepad on your search. Oh, you don't have notepad on your...
Okay, never mind. Brother, tell you what, I'll copy this. I'll maybe try on another laptop.
Yeah, but if you want to do it on the
show.
notepad, yeah, I'll just give you the instructions. If you want to do on your just normal notepad,
Okay.
copy that, paste. You just have to be careful with one thing. When you save, just remember you have to use the file type all files. Okay, you have to use the drop down all files, and then when you save it as index.html.
Okay, I'll try
Okay.
later. If still got problem, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, okay, can.
Okay, thank you, brother.
Okay, no problem.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, do you manage to do the form? Okay, please give me a thumbs up for the form. All those who managed to do a form. Okay, good. So in the later part of the class, after we have learned the HTML and we have understand how the CSS works, then we can go on and we can actually use templates, right? Not the templates that you use, like the drag and drop template. They are still coded templates, but you can make changes to the template. So that will give you a lot of freedom and give you a lot of choices that you can actually start building your own website, because you already know how to write. Okay, so you know which element, you already know that HTML is used for the structure and that the CSS is used to beautify the structure. Okay, so these are the two things, the core concepts of building a website. Okay, now let's go to something more serious. But what if you don't remember? Okay, you don't have to memorize the code. Nobody memorizes the code. If you want to memorize, please memorize the Quran. Okay, memorization in coding, you don't have to do that. If anybody tells you need to memorize codes, it's not true. You don't have to memorize the codes. You have to memorize. If you want to memorize or you need to memorize, then spend time memorizing the Quran. Okay, codes are everywhere. Even big programmers in Amazon or in Facebook, nobody memorize codes. But sometimes we just know, like, I mean, by now you would know if I want to use a header, it's H1, right? So it becomes like a routine. Some of the things that you usually use, you would automatically know it. If you don't know how to put the code, yeah, you still have the tutorial, right? There is still the tutorial. So that's the reason why you still have the tutorial. Okay, remember, HTML helps you to build the structure for the page. Is that clear? If they ask you what is a HTML, HTML is used to structure the page. Like I mentioned early on yesterday, it's like building a flat or a unit. Then you know, okay, I want to put the washroom here and I want to put the master bedroom over here. This is what I meant by the elements. Okay, so the structure of it. Our code standard are not revised time to HTML codes. Yes, they have revision. They have new stuff now. They just add on. Right? HTML, they will have an add-on. That's why now we are using HTML5. It's a revised version. Okay. And we also have CSS3. Sometimes there are new stuff that they add on. But you don't have to worry about that because it's just like building a house. The material that we used 30 years ago, today we have new material, there's new technology. We can build houses faster, right? The same thing. Okay, I hope I had made it easy for you to understand. Okay, now let's come, we'll do the prettier part of HTML, or sorry, web building. Okay, so I want you to pay attention. So we are going to learn about HTML, CSS. Then I'll go to CSS. Okay. And now just let me explain. So CSS stands for cascading style sheets. I'll explain what that cascading style sheet means. It saves a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at once. That means you can use to format the layout of a web page. You see over here, it says you can control the color, the font, the size of the text, the spacing between elements. That means spacing between elements means, let's say I have an image element and then I have a text. Sometimes there's space in between, right? If you look over here where my cursor, my mouse is, see this is an image and there is some space between the image and this text, right? Okay, just to digress a bit, when I bring this over, this color picker changes to green. This is done by JavaScript. Clear? Is the behavior. Color picker, the element being there itself is done by HTML. The color black or green is given by CSS. The changes, when I bring my mouse over, right, it changes color. This is an event or this is an action. This is controlled by JavaScript. Okay, so HTML is for structure, CSS is for styling, JavaScript is for the behavior. But we're not going to be doing the JavaScript now. We're just going to concentrate on HTML and CSS. But of course, you know, if you learn JavaScript, it will be very good so that you can actually build very interactive websites. Okay, so back to CSS. So with CSS, you can control the color, font, the size of text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, the background images or background colors to be used, and different displays for different devices, and screen sizes and much more. So the word cascading means that a style applied to a parent element will also apply to all children elements within the parent. If you set the color of the body text to blue, all headings, paragraphs, and other text elements within the body will also get the same color unless you specify something else. Okay, there is a relationship between the elements inside, but let's not get into that technicality now. I will explain if there is a need to in the web page while we are building it. What we need to know, how do we use the CSS? Okay, yesterday we did use CSS. We used inline CSS by using the style attribute inside HTML elements. Can you recall? We actually did this yesterday, right? For every H1 or for every P, I actually added a style color. So this is known as inline CSS. There are 3 ways that you can actually add CSS to a HTML document. All okay? Can I have a thumbs up before I proceed further? If possible, all, okay? I would like to see all sending up thumbs, yeah. So in fact, we have already used the CSS to beautify. Remember yesterday when we did that? That is using an inline. That means you apply the style attribute inside the HTML elements. Wow, Hamza, 3 thumbs up. MashaAllah. Barakallah. Okay. All right. So this one, we've already tried it yesterday. Now let's go to the internal CSS. So an internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. So the inline, you will apply for all the elements. Remember when I did mine yesterday, or you also did yours, right? I'll just go back here. You see, I had to do for all the elements, right? I had to do for all the elements. You see here, all the elements. So if I have maybe 100 pillars, I'm just saying if I have 100 pillars, or I have 100 H1s, I will have to do how many times? How many times will I have to do? If I want to have 100 H1s, right? And I want to apply a color to 100 H1s. Yeah, I will have to do 100 times. Yeah, maybe 99 times. Okay, 100 times, right? So let's say I am doing a website for someone. I want to give you this idea so that you understand why we are doing this, so that you understand why we are doing this. I build a website for a client, and then they tell me after a year that they want to change their color scheme. So they want all their H1s to now be maybe from red, they want to change to green, right? Maybe they have some theme going on, or they want to get onto this green movement bandwagon, right? So they change that. So what happens? I, as the developer, I will have to go and make all the changes on all the H1. The chances are very high that I might miss one, and I might also tire myself out, okay? Or I might make some other mistake that I might break the code. Or maybe I forget to close the angle bracket, because the more you code or the more changes that you make, then the chances of you making a mistake is high, right? Okay. So now we have another method. This method says that an internal CSS is used to define a style for just one single HTML page. That means you do it once, it can be applied throughout the page. Okay, so how do we do that? Very simple. I want you to copy this style over here. Okay, copy this style. I'll paste it on the page. Paste it in your head. element, not in your head. Paste it on your head element of the page. That means I'm going to paste it here. It can be after the title, or it can be before the title, but we'll do it after the title. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So I'm saying over here, what am I saying? My background color, I don't want the background color. So I'm going to remove this. Oops. Okay. So I want this color now is red, right? Okay, let's see what happens. I already have an element here, H1. The color style is applied over here, right? But I'm changing this to blue and the P to red. So it's going to be applied throughout my page. Let's see if this works. Are you all following? Okay, right? So just copy this and paste it on the head element. So that means it should be somewhere here. Okay, can be before the title or after the title. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to save this. I'm going to Command S save. And okay, so if you see, the changes didn't took place because I have a style here, but this guy's style, they actually override, right? So what we need to do, I'm going to remove all of the style that I applied on the element. All the style applied on the elements, we are going to remove them. Okay, you can do that also. Where did you get the Hamza? Sorry, where did you get? Are you asking this or you are asking for all this? This one, because I don't want to use a background color. So what I have done over here is I have commented it out. That means the browser will ignore it. It cannot see this thing at all. Right? I was about to get to that to explain to you. Comment means the browser doesn't have to know what is it. It's just for us, for the developers. It's not like the comment that you use in social media. This comment means the browser, when it reads your HTML file, it will ignore. It will ignore. Right? So we comment it out. Is that clear? Everyone? Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. All right. So I'm going to remove all the style that I applied yesterday on the elements for everything. Okay. This is for the list. I'm going to remove it also because now I already know I can use a internal CSS to apply throughout the page. Just for one page, I can use this. Okay, there is a shortcut actually to do this. You can just do a find and replace also. That's also possible, right? And there are also some shortcut keys you can actually do them. Okay, now I'm going to save. And I'm going to reload. Okay, can you see that? Did you all manage to get it? Now what happened? If I want to change, let's say in this page, I want to change the color. All I have to do is just go to the page. This is where the CSS style is. I will explain to you this whole thing, how it is written very soon, right? I'm going to say green. Okay, I'm going to choose green, yellow. Then this one, maybe I'm going to choose, how about, you know, what color? Papaya whip. Okay. Peru. Okay. So I just choose change here. Save. And then I will apply it. Can you see this? Right? Okay, I want you to try this. I'll give you about 5-10 minutes, you can try it out. Then you can also make changes for the list. I can also put this li. Okay, just copy like how it is above. So reading this, sorry, you can repeat again. What if you don't code? If you don't code, then that means, okay, the reason is I don't want my background color to change. So if I want this to be red, then I will not comment it out. Okay, I'll repeat the color changing part again. Just give me a minute. All right. So brother Hamza, right? This means the browser, remember we are writing all this so that the browser can display, right? This means I want the browser to ignore this. Clear? The browser will ignore this part. They will just ignore this part. Right? If you want to have this, now look. I'm going to save this. Oh, sorry. There's something body. Okay. See, if I don't comment it out, then, sorry, yeah, before this there was a body. This is the element name. This is whatever you want to, this everything that is to be styled has to be inside these curly brackets. This is the property, colon, this is the value for the property. Clear? Yeah, okay, brother Rizwan, thank you. Body missing, yeah. Right, so if I don't want my body to change the color, I don't like background colors for the body, then I'll do this. Okay. Or now, you know, they are saying that actually a dark background is good for reading. So I will do this. Save. Okay, Brother Faiz, can you just unmute yourself? Which part you want me to explain? The color changing part?
Line number 9, how you change to green yellow.
Oh, okay, how I change to green yellow. Okay. So delete. If you're using this editor, it's a smart editor, so they will actually suggest some colors for you. So you just choose whatever color that you want from this list.
Okay, got.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you know the name, then you can just type the name. Or remember, we can also use the hexadecimal value, right? We can also use the hexadecimal value. So I can say, okay, I can do this also.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah. So for the colors, we know that there are a few ways. You can use the RGB value, you can use the color name, or you can use the hex value, or you can use the HSL value also. Okay. Everyone managed to get this? Using of course, it's not only the colors, you can change a lot more, right? You can change a lot more. You can change the size and everything else. We will come to that soon. Do we need to delete the color for the paragraph? Delete the color? No, we don't have to delete anything. You don't have to delete the color for the paragraph. If you want to have the color, then you use it. I don't understand your question, Brother Hamza. Can you just unmute yourself? What do you mean, do we need to delete the color for the paragraph? If you don't want the paragraph color to change, you're happy with the existing color?
Delete the one before the, the paragraph, and then star equal to color, like that.
Yeah, that one you will have to remove it. Yes, correct. Because if you don't remove it, then that color would be in place. Is that clear? Okay, the rest of you, can I just have a show of your thumbs up? If you are able to use an internal CSS to make changes to your elements. Okay, so just remember we are using an internal CSS to make changes to the element. Okay, so the first one that we learned was we are using it element by element. Second is for the whole page. We can choose the element, changes the element in the same page, for one page. That means because the style is here, right? You can apply it on this page. Okay, what do I mean by apply it by this page? It will only be applied here. Done? Okay. Now let's go to the third one. The third one is the most powerful because it can be used to define the style for many HTML pages. But in order to do this, we need to use an external style sheet. We add a link to it in the head section of each HTML page. Okay, let's say usually, right, websites, we have many pages, and we want to usually have the same color scheme or the same theme, right? So in order for us to do that, we need to have an external style sheet to define the style for all these pages. So we will create the style sheet separately on a file, and we will just reference for all the HTML pages using this. You can use this style sheet over here. So now the next time when you download like a free template from Bootstrap or from HTML templates, then now you already know what is the CSS used for and what is the HTML used for. So you know how to make the changes, right? We will go through that also so that you'll be confident. You can actually just download. There are many free fantastic templates. They are also mobile responsive, web responsive with all these fluid layouts. So you can actually download them and you can use them to build your web page, right? Okay, don't think because it's a template, it's like it's got no value. At the end of the day, most of the website that you see, they are all about the same structure. Because how much can you change, right? The thing that makes it look distinct is the colors, the font that they use, the spacing they have in between, or the videos they put at a particular layout. That's the only thing, but everything else is the same because the layouts, right? The layout is just limited to your screen, right? It's just limited to your screen. So it's either the text is on the left side, right side, top, bottom of another element. Is that clear? I hope you have a better view of whatever you are visualizing now. When you see the website, you know, okay, they have done this, they have done that kind of layout. Okay, so sometimes they have this layout called parallax, and then they have a neat, like nowadays we have what we call a neat layout. We want have to have white spaces in between. Okay, so now let's do a style sheet, right? Before that, I want you to create a folder in the Bayaan Codes. We have, I'm using a Mac, but inshallah you should be using your, what is the style sheet? The style sheet is, okay, Hamza, yes. Sister Natalia asking, what's the style sheet for again? Is to style, beautify. I'm sure you have seen sometimes, or maybe like on Twitter, usually the images of the person's profile image is in circular shape, right? That is using CSS. Okay, so it's to beautify the structures. The HTML code only can provide, okay, image here. So we have an image element, there's an image element there in HTML, but the styling is done using the CSS. Did I answer your question, Sister Natalia? For the learn do we need to delete the color too? Yes, brother. If you want to, if you don't want to use the color, yes, you can remove that also. Okay. Once we have understood how to use the CSS, inshallah we will use a template. It's prettier. It's got a better layout. Then you can make the changes on that. Yeah, Sister Natalia, did I answer your question on the style sheet? Okay, Alhamdulillah. That's good. Okay, so now let's create a folder in Bayaan Codes. Click new folder. I'm going to name this folder CSS. Right? I'm going to name it CSS. Sorry, not CSS. Name it as style. Sorry, yeah. Name it as style. Okay. Step number 1. Number 2, open a new file on brackets and save it as style.css. Okay. Once you have done these 2 steps, please give me a thumbs up. And I think we can go, Brother Isham, can we just go for a short 10 minutes break? Because if not, it will just we'll just go straight like yesterday. I think we can just take a short 10 minute break. Okay, so now it's
come back 3:45.
Yeah, okay. So 3:35 we'll be back. So what you need to do step number 1 and step number 2. Create subfolder in Bayaan Codes, name it as style, and open a new file on brackets and save it as style.css. I'm just going to show you how you do that on brackets. Brackets, you can just click file new. Okay. Say new. And I'm going to save this as .css. I'm going to use it here. I'm going to save it here. Okay. So there are 2 folders. One folder is for the images. Another folder is for the style. Then got style. It's a subfolder for style. For style, it's a subfolder for style. Yes, correct. So the subfolder name is called style. The file name is called style.css. Yeah. So come back again 3:35. We'll continue, inshallah. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Is everyone back? Okay, I think I probably made, it's not a mistake, but the industry standard is usually styles. So for the file name, just say styles.css. If you want to leave it as style.css, then okay, it's not an issue at all, right? Can I continue or do we still wait? Can I have a show of thumbs? Everyone's back? Okay, alhamdulillah. All right. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do the third option, and we will be using that for the rest of the course. That is, we will use an external CSS sheet to style our web page. Okay. So we are going to have a style folder inside Bayaan Codes, and Bayaan Codes is the folder that we have created to store our index.html, that means our HTML page, and also our image folder, which contains all the images that we use for the web page. So style, the folder style will be used to store the style.css file. The .css extension refers to a CSS style sheet. Clear? Okay, so now how do we use this style sheet? Earlier on, we had this, right? We had an internal CSS sheet. We use the style tag. I'm going to remove this. Okay. And I'm going to paste this one. Right? And I'm going to say style. So you should have something like this. If we have renamed the file as styles.css, then you change it to styles.css. So I want you to put this in the head section. Okay. Once you have done, please give me a thumbs up. So you create a folder, you create a file and save it as style.css. Then you add the code to link this reference. So now when the browser opens up, it knows that there is a link for style. So all the styles, it will actually refer to that file. Whatever styles that you write over there, it will be applied to this page or whichever page that has this this code at line number 4. Is that clear? Is that clear to everyone how this thing works now? Can you repeat where to find the link? Which link are you referring to? Copy here. Just copy this. Copy this and put it on your head section. Put it on the head section. So this is how we actually use the head section to link with many other things, right? You can link a lot of other stuff. When you do a Google search, is the head section that they actually, the scrollers, what we call the web crawlers, they will come in and take a look. What about the style? Which style are you talking about, brother? There are many styles. What are you talking about? This, you should have created a style folder. Maybe you can unmute yourself, Brother Hamza. Style body H1. You remove that. You remove that. We already removed that. So your head should only have this. I'll send you the whole head section. The head section should only contain this. This is how it should look. Oh, sorry, it's reading the. It's reading. Radamza, can you just unmute yourself? Okay, did you manage to get it? So you remove the style that we did earlier on. From now on, almost okay. I'll wait for you. Should it can be styles.css or it can be style, no problem. It can be actually any name, but styles is usually the standards is styles. So the reason I want to give you something that is standardized, so that when you download templates, they will have styles, so you know, oh, this is referring to CSS. Okay, Brother Fauzi? So you can have any names, but just make sure that the name you are referring to, the physical file exists on the location that you are referring it to. Okay, good. So I put it as style here, right?
.css is the file extension. So
yes.
It has to be the .css.
Yes. .css, yes. So if you want to rename, you can just rename as styles, right? Then I will also make the changes here. Okay, you can just do the renaming all over here. So once you get used to these brackets, you know you can just use the editor. So the editor is very good because it helps you with a lot of things. Okay, all okay? Give me a thumbs up so I know I can proceed. Brother Hamza, are you okay? Okay, good. Once you're finished, just thumbs up for all the tasks. Okay, great. So I'll just continue. Bismillah. Do you need to save after entering the link? Yes. At any point, we will have to save the document. But there won't be any effect now because we have not done any styles, because the style sheet, the styles file has got nothing. Yes, Brother Osman, you can save, but it's got nothing. Yeah, right. Okay, good. Okay. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to show you on the CSS section. I think I've sent this link earlier on. Okay. So here, so CSS is the language we use to style an HTML document. Describes how HTML elements should be displayed. Tutorial will teach you CSS from basic to advanced. All right. So you can refer to this when you are using it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this. Right. I'm going to paste it here first. Okay. I want you to paste this. I want you to paste this. I think you know where to paste lah, in styles. Right. Now you save. Okay. So all your CSS changes that you want to do, you can do it over here. You get it? It's just one place you can make all the changes. You can change the font family, you can change the font size, you can change the text alignment, you can change the color, and many other more attributes and properties you can change. Background color. Okay, so to see if this is working, I'm going to save this file. I'm going to see my index.html. It has a link here. Very good. And I'm going to reload my page. Let me see if I change style sheet. Okay. Okay. Do you get it? You get this? It's a great achievement. You already have an HTML page. You already have a CSS style sheet separated. This is how all the developers do it. Okay. Just send me a thumbs up if you manage to get it. Oh, my one does not change. Okay, why? Okay. Maybe you forgot to save the file. Yeah, make changes to the color. Just hang on. I'll just send to you. Brother Hamza, you can use this. I just sent you. Okay. Is it working? It's not working. Okay, please check the styles.css, your index. Is it all saved? the words cannot be changed, maybe try to highlight. It's probably using the same colors with the background. Just try changing the colors. Can I see your index.html? Here, in my index.html, you need to have this. You need to have this in your index.html. It has to be in the head section. Okay. Just make sure the names, the folders, everything is right. For the rest of you all okay? Please send me a thumbs up. So because once this is okay, then we can just go on to make changes to the CSS. I'll explain to you how the CSS thing works. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Still the same. Can you share your screen? I will just stop sharing. Can you share your screen, Brother Hamza? Can you do that? Okay, I will stop sharing now. Okay, just hang on. Okay, I already spotted the mistake. Come, I'll show you. Your file name. Why is your file name index.html.html? Okay, but that might not be the issue. Never mind. Go to your style.css. Brother, remove the S. Remove the S. Can you see at line number 4? Line number 4, yes. Your file name, yes, your file name is style, but here you are saying it's styles.css. Okay? Do you get it?
So I just put style only.
No. Listen. Do you understand what I'm saying? Look at left-hand panel. It says style.css. Am I right?
Yes.
Left side, on your left side, below the index.html. It says, what does it say? Style dot. Can you read it?
Style.css.
Okay, go to your index. Go to your index. What does it say here? Styles.css or style.css? Not that style, the file name. The file name. Yes. So your mistake. Okay, save it now. Save this now. And I want it to also make changes. It should be index.html, not index.html.html.
Okay.
Okay, but it's okay. It will still work, but it's very confusing. All right. Okay. Can you show me if it's working now? Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Everyone else, anyone has issues? Is it working for everyone? Because very important. I'm going to go slightly faster after this because we already have the CSS file. We already have the HTML. So now we can make the changes already. Okay. Yeah, waiting for more thumbs up. All those have managed to complete up to this section. That means we have an index.html, you have an image folder, you have an image inside it, you have a style folder, and inside the style folder, you have a style.css or styles.css. And in your HTML, you have a link to reference the styles.css. Okay. How many participants are there today? 27. Okay, but I didn't get 27 thumbs up. Okay, I'll proceed. Right, so now you know if you want to make any changes, if you want to make any kind of styles for the HTML elements, we have 3 methods to use. The first method, we can apply it at the elements level. The second method, we can apply it at the internal CSS. That means we put it in the same file. Or the third method, which is the most popular and also the most versatile, most dynamic method would be the one that you use an external CSS. In order for us to use an external CSS, we need to have an external CSS file. We should name the file with the extension .css, and we have to link it using the link element in the head section of our HTML page where we want to apply the style on. Okay, is that clear? All right. So I'm going to show you now the syntax of this CSS. Okay, syntax means something similar to the grammar, all right? So the first part refers to the selector. The selector will actually point to the HTML element that you want to style. Clear? It's H1, P, IMG, anchor, LI, whatever that you want to select, that you want to apply the style on. Okay, for example, if it's a house, because we have been talking about the structure of a house, the selector would be to select
your screen.
again.
Your screen. You need to share your screen.
Oh, okay, okay, sorry. Okay, so this is the CSS syntax. Let me send you the text. All right, so I'll repeat again. So this is the CSS and syntax, or we call it the CSS rule. It consists of a selector and a declaration block. Okay, so the selector is the selector that is used to select the particular element. If we are using a H1, or if we are using a paragraph element, or if you're using an image element. Okay, so it points to the element that you want to style. The declaration block contains one or more declarations separated by semicolons. Okay, so the declaration block, it has to follow this syntax, this way of writing. It has to start with a curly bracket and end with a curly bracket. So this first color blue is referring to the color of the text. The value is blue. The color is the property. And likewise, now we have also the font size I want to change. So I put a font size, and I have a value for the font size, 12 pixel. Is that clear? Do you understand this? So over here, if you see, I'm selecting all the P elements in the page, change the color to red, and make the text alignment to center. Is this clear? Can I have a thumbs up if you understood this? Yeah. So sometimes we might miss a semicolon, or sometimes we might miss a curly braces. Then you will all end up in errors, or you might not see the changes. So these are the things that you need to look for whenever there is a rule. We call it a CSS rule. So one sentence like this is one rule. Okay. So in this rule, what it happens is changes the color to blue, and it changes the font size to 12 pixel. It applies to which element? All the H1 element. So it can apply to a particular H1 element, or it can also make changes like I can have like a H1 to have two different types of style. We are coming to that. Okay. So this one, alhamdulillah, I think is clear right now. We have done that already. Okay. Okay. So the selectors, even for the selectors, right, there are a few ways you can actually do them. You can select them based on name, like H1, H2, H3, P, image, that is selection by name. Or you can select them by ID, which we will go through now, and also by class. Okay. So I don't want to go through the rest of them yet, right? I'll just go through these first three. Elements based on name, ID, and class. We call this a simple selector. Okay. For the element selector, selects HTML based on the element name. Very simple, you already know. The element name is P, H, all these element names, they are available on the HTML tutorial section of the same website. Okay. The CSS ID selector. Okay. This CSS rule below will apply to the element with the ID called para1. How does this work? All right. Let's copy this. Okay. If you see over here, what happens in the style section, they are using a selector, right? The selector is by ID. Whenever you see this pound sign or what we call the hashtag now, this hashtag, it means it's referring to a selector by ID. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. And going to paste it here, right? Golden rod. Okay, I'm gonna paste this to your chat also.
I think they cannot copy from the checkbox.
Sorry again. You're breaking up. You're breaking. I can't hear you again.
They cannot copy from the checkbox.
They cannot what?
They cannot copy from the checkbox.
Oh, they cannot copy from the checkbox. Okay, then you just copy from the page here. You can just copy from here. Right, click on CSS selectors. Copy this. This one will go to your styles.css. Once you have done that, I will go to H1. Okay. And I'll put an ID here. Then, of course, I'm going to save this. Oh, it's still red. Okay, let me change the color. Let me change. Oh yeah, I haven't saved this yet. Okay, can you see this? This is a H1. My H1 is red, but this H1 is not red because I used a special selector by ID. That means I want a particular element to be of a different style, right? Whatever the style is, I want it to be of a different style. So I created a ID selector, which I can call it any name. Okay, or I can also say here, I can say this main title, right? If I say main title over here, then in my index, I have to put here main title. You have to share your screen, Brother Hamza. Okay, then I'll show you. Okay, so now I've applied an ID selector for my first H1, and I've made the style I've styled it to be a bit different, right? And I will apply it. So this is my CSS rule, and I applied this rule at line number 12 for the first H1. Is that clear? Can I have a show of thumbs up, please? And then I'll get to Brother Hamza. Okay, good. So you know you can actually select by name, or you can select by ID. I'm sure you know why we need to select by ID. Sometimes we have the same element, but we want some of these elements to be of a different style. Then we use the ID. But of course, try to give meaningful names. That's why I change it to main title. Okay, then you can have subtitle, or you can have subtitle for this section and that section, stuff like that. Clear? The rest of y'all, no thumbs up, all okay? Brother Hamza, did you manage or do you need me to show you? Okay, good. It is not in the middle. Which one is not in the middle? Just share your screen. Come. I'll just stop sharing. Share your screen. Okay. Okay. Which is not okay. So what is not in the middle? Can you unmute yourself?
This one.
Which one? Okay, Ken. Now it's not in the middle, is it? Okay, it's okay. Can you go to your styles.css file? Go to your editor. Can I take a look at the editor?
Which one?
No, your editor. Your styles.css. Brackets. The HTML editor.
This one. Wait,
The brackets, yeah. Okay.
So which one is wrong?
Okay. H1 P. Okay, can I take a look at your index.html?
Okay. This one.
So you rename this file, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rename, but still cannot.
Okay, I tell you why. Go back to your browser. Toggle
Which
to your
one?
browser. Your browser, the browser, Chrome.
This one.
No, browser is the Chrome. Google
Okay.
Chrome. Yeah, that's the browser. You just share your desktop, it's easier. Okay. Can you refresh? Okay.
It's still the same.
Is this the same file? Because I see the file names a bit slightly different. Never mind. Try changing the colors. Share your desktop, please. Just share your desktop. So easier. Share your entire desktop so then you can just toggle, click alternate tab.
Wait,
Yeah, okay.
this one, right?
Okay, show me your editor, the brackets. Okay. Link style sheet, style.css. H1. Okay, can you go show me your style.css? Okay, this style.css is not inside a folder, right?
Which folder are you talking about?
Okay, never mind. Go back to index.html. Remove the style. Remove style, the first, yeah, remove that. Yeah, from the back slide, yeah, remove that. And remove the slash also. The backward, yes. Okay, save this. Okay, try it. Not try it. Okay.
Okay,
You were
thank
okay. Let me explain to you. You were referencing it. Okay, what that means, that style slash style.css, it means it tells the browser, it's telling the browser, look for a style sheet called style.css inside the folder style. But when I looked on your panel, your left panel, you don't even have a style folder. So what I need you to do later on is create a style folder inside the Bayaan Codes and then put back the codes again that we just removed. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay, yeah? All right. Okay, so the rest of us, okay? All okay. All right. So Alhamdulillah, now that we already have this, we know that we can use the CSS selectors for an element name. The second part is to use a ID selector. Okay, so the ID selector uses the ID attribute of an HTML element to select a specific element. The ID of an element is unique within a page, so ID selector is used to select one unique element only. Right? You can only use one unique element. So to select an element with a specific ID, you will need to write a hash character followed by the ID of the element. We have already done this. Now, the most powerful one. The class selector selects HTML elements with a specific class attribute. To select elements with a specific class, write a period character followed by the class name. Okay, now let's do this. Copy this, right? Dot center, text align, center, color, red. Okay, so how do we use it? Instead of writing ID, you write class equals to the name of the class. Clear? Right? So I'm going to show you how we do that. I'm going to say here now, okay. I think I don't want to text align. The text align maybe right, and then the color I can change it also to yellow. Okay. Then I save this file, right, in CSS. So I've already created the rule in CSS. This rule is using the class selector. This one is using the ID selector, and this one is using the name selector. Okay, so this is element name, this is ID, and this one is center. Okay, let's say if you want to write some notes, how you can do it without affecting the file. You can actually write the notes, in CSS, you will write the comments in between these two characters, these two set of characters. Okay, so I can put here, this is a comment, right? If you want to have more, then you can just write this. Okay, so if you want to write something, then you can do this. So the files can be used. At the same time, the browser will ignore this. They will just ignore this, right? Because this is not a CSS language, or it's not a HTML language. So, but it's something that we want to use for reference. Clear? This is how you want to do a command. And in HTML, we would use this. We would say, we would use this. Okay. This is a comment in HTML. Here is this is a comment in CSS. Clear? Okay. Commenting is important so that when you do your page and you have more than one person working on it, you can write some useful information for the other person who's working on the same project as you. All right? Okay. Now, let's do this. Save this file. Go to index.html. And I want to apply this on here. So I'm going to say class equals center. Okay, then save the index file, save the CSS file. Okay, can you see the changes? Okay, so try it out and give me a thumbs up. So this is using a class. I want to stress again the reason why we are learning all these things. So when we use those templates, HTML templates, CSS templates, it is no longer foreign to you. You already know, oh, they're applying a style sheet to this. Or they're applying this style sheet to this. They're applying. Usually we'll only see, most of the time you'll see classes. We do the selection by class. Okay, so I can apply it on P. I can also apply it on H1 here. You get it? Oops. See? So I just apply it here. So you can apply the class wherever it is applicable. So I'm saying here what? Center. Whenever I say center means is the align, text align is to right and the color is yellow. Okay? Please give me a thumbs up once you have tried that using the class selector. Okay, rest of the brothers, sisters, all okay? Not able to make it center. Can you share your screen, please? Do you want to share your screen? If okay, then I will stop sharing. Okay, I'll stop sharing now. Please unmute yourself also.
I'm sorry, it's a bit noisy.
Yeah, okay, no problems. Okay, I have kids also at home. Okay. Class equals center. No, but where is the class equals center? Performing pilgrimage. Okay. Okay, let me see your styles.css. Okay, wait, dot center equals to text align right. No, you put text align is right. What? The name is center. By the alignment here, can you see that? Change that to center. Do you understand?
Change this to center without the dot, is it?
No. That is just the name. Sorry, it's a bit confusing. Change this to center. The one in orange, the right in orange. Yeah.
To change to center.
Change it to center. Yes. Wrong spelling. Okay. Okay, save it.
Yeah.
Your spelling is wrong. Class center is wrong. Can you check? SCENTER, right? No. Go to your HTML.
Oh, okay.
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 Working, All right. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. The rest of y'all okay? Yes, Brother Saleh, Faiz, okay? Can you apply the class selector? Okay, alhamdulillah, good. So now, usually there will be an index.html and there will be a styles.css or style.css. Whenever you are using some free templates, they give you the structure. The free template doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything. You need to know the language so that you can actually make modification. You need to have that knowledge. You need to have the knowledge on HTML. You need to have the knowledge on style CSS. So alhamdulillah, now we already have that knowledge. As for the codes or the elements that you need to use, we have references. We can use W3 schools. There are many more references available on the internet, but I like to use W3 schools because they're quite old, established, and also I think they have a very simple layout. If you would agree with me, it's quite easy the way they actually explain. It's not so wordy, and they give you an example. They also provide you with an online editor to see how the codes will turn out to be on the browser. Okay. All right, now I will proceed to explain further on the CSS rule. So the CSS can also use the Universal Selector like this. This will apply to every HTML element on the page. Okay, I will let you try this out on your own. Oh, okay. Okay, so for this CSS rule, there is a universal selector. So we know there are three selectors that we have already used, right? There's the first selector is by name. The second selector is by an ID. ID, you can apply it only to one element only. You can only apply it to one element. The other one, we have the class where you can apply it to more than one element. Okay, so the ID is preceded by a hash and the class is preceded by a period. So the CSS grouping selector selects all the HTML elements with the same style definitions. That means instead of me doing this, H1, H2, P, I can actually just group the selectors to minimize the code, to group the selectors just to separate each selector with a comma. Okay? Easy, right? This one? I don't have to explain further. So from here, instead of doing this, we can just do this. So we have how many selectors here? H1, H2, and P. Of course, you can add more. Right? Okay. So we have already gone through this earlier on, how to add the CSS in the HTML section. We have the comments. So you see, these are the comments that you can use in CSS. Okay, it has to be in between the pair of characters here. Clear? So you can write this. So when you are learning, you want to have any notes, then just type beside it on top of it. Right? When it's a multi-line comment, then you just put it appropriately lah. Not on single line, you can just put it on a different line. Then you have the color names. We've gone through this also. The colors yesterday. Okay, how you can set the colors. And we have the 3 values for the colors, or 4 including the names. Okay. Background color. Can also make it like this. Right? The opacity. Okay, you want to try this out? I think most of us would like to use images, right? Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so here you see they're selecting the body, and then there is this property, background image, and this is the value. Okay, so we can actually download an image, or if not, we can just use the Mushaf image. But I'll just want to show you this. I can try it out on your own. So I'm gonna paste this here. Since we already have a body tag, what I suggest is we just copy this, edit here. Okay. So of course, our images are inside the image folder. Okay, can anyone explain to me why we have this? Is my screen shared, right?
Yes.
Okay, so basically you said parent directory. Yeah, okay, basically like I mentioned before, if I just have mushaf.jpg, it's referring to the current directory. If I put images / mushaf.jpg, then it's referring to the subdirectory images. But now, do you remember we actually created a styles directory, right? So style is here. So I need to move out from this directory. So this is moving up. Okay, this is the moving up part. That means we move one directory up. You got that? We are moving one directory up. so that we will come to the directory of Bayaan Codes, and then I go to the subfolder called images, then I reference the mushaf.jpg. Who doesn't understand this? Okay. This means to go up one directory. Get out of the existing directory and move. Then after that, I will move to change the directory to the subfolder images. And inside images, I have mushaf.jpg. Clear? So this is like what we say that the path, the relative path. All okay? All right. So we're going to save this. So now we are using a background image. I don't know how it's going to turn out. You see over here, there's still this dot. It means I haven't saved it yet. Okay, now there's no more dot. So take note of that also. And go to okay, you see that? Of course, we can actually make control. We can change it to like if you want it to be a whole picture. What the other things that you can actually do also? How you want the background image to be displayed also. But I leave that to you to explore. All right. There will always be a property. There will always be a value. Clear? My one cannot. Okay. Did you put in the background image? Do you have the image? Do you have an images folder, Brother Hamza? Do you have an images folder? Because I don't remember seeing the images folder earlier on. Okay. The rest of you, how is it going? Wait. Okay, so now you know, right, how they can actually add a background image. Okay, Brother Hamza, come share your screen. I'll stop sharing. Go to style.css. Background image URL images mushaf. You don't have a folder called images. You don't have an image. You have a folder called images, or you do? Okay. All right. So images mushaf.jpg background image. Okay. Body. All right. Style.css. Very confusing. You have an index below there and another. Okay. All right. So styles.css. Okay. Go to your index.html. Okay. Here you don't have to do anything. You know that, right? You don't have to do anything. Save your styles.css. Just Control S next time. Okay. So images. Okay. Now go to your website. Okay. Reload. Okay, user desktop Bayaan Codes index.html. Okay, go back to your editor. Let me see, background image URL, images as mushaf.jpg. Do you have any other bodies anywhere else? Something is wrong. Background.image. Wait, can you show me where's your image folder? Images. Okay, can you right click, and I want to see what's the extension. Is it JPG or JPEG? Right click on it. Properties. What does it say? Is it JPEG or JPG? Go to okay, go back to your screen there. Mushaf. Go to your editor. Instead of JPG, maybe you put an E after the P. Hover the screen again. Okay, that JPG is correct. Then remove the E. All right, let me see. You have the screen, right? Okay. You have the screen background image. Save. Okay, save. Okay, can you go to your browser again? Go to the browser. Okay. Close this. No, just close this tab. Just this tab would do. Close the tab would do. Okay, go to your Explorer. No, Explorer. Windows Explorer, the folder. Okay, now go to your Bayaan Codes folder. Okay, double click on the index. It's not there. There's something that you didn't write properly. It's not here. The CSS is there. Okay, I tell you what, you just email me both of these files later. Okay, send you my email address, just send email to me. There might be something that we missed that's why it's not showing up. The rest of you, okay? The rest of you all okay? Okay, good. All right. You can email to me. Zamza, you can email to me your files, both your files. That means your index and style. Not to everyone, just for Zamza only. Okay. Okay, so you can also apply the background image for other elements, like the paragraph element also. If you want to do that, it's also possible. So for the background, if you want to repeat horizontally, then you do a repeat X. Okay. If you don't want to repeat, then you use this. So what you can do right now, can just copy this. So I'm going to say no repeat. Okay, I'm going to say no repeat and save this. And open up the file. Okay, you see when I don't repeat, what happens? Because that is my maximum image size. Okay, this is an image, not the background image, but it's a maximum image size. Okay, you can try the no repeat. So of course, we have the CSS. There are so many other things that we can actually change, but we're not going to go through everything because soon we'll be using some templates so that we can make changes to it. Okay, so there's borders. I'll just go through quickly that you can have borders, and under the borders you have width, color, size, shorthand, border shorthand, and then you can have rounded borders, right? And there are many more stuff that you can have over here. Okay, let's try. Okay, maybe we want to try this one. Let me see. So this is how we actually get all those images rounded, right? Okay. There's one more line I wanted to include. This is the fonts awesome, which create icons. So just copy this line. You see here, I'll just send this. Okay, I sent a link. So this is the font awesome icons. You can take a look at the icons, the many icons that we can use. And usually nowadays websites, they have icons, which makes it look very lively. So I'm going to copy this, paste it in the head section of my page. right? Okay. So just save. Then next, go back to the same page again. I'm just going to copy all this. So you will get to see something like this. I just want to show you how it works. Just paste it and oops, sorry, not here, inside body, not over here. I'm just gonna paste it here. And I'm gonna put it save. I'm going to reload. Okay, I don't think it's working because this thing should be available. So okay, I will show you how this thing works maybe in the next lesson or from the templates that we have. Right? So what you can do is you can get all these fonts. But let me see, try again. Yeah, we already have the script. Okay. No, it should not be in CSS. It's HTML tag, remember? This is all HTML. CSS, you don't have an angle bracket. CSS is only curly braces, colon, semicolon. It's okay. The chances are very high because this link, this is the important link. I don't know whether this link is working or not, but never mind. We will change this link and then I'll show you. But this is very interesting. I'm just going to show you how it looks. Let's take a look. So we can use all of this. Or probably I think we'll do it in the next lesson. So the next lesson we will actually have a template, so we can start working on it, making changes. Oh, it's not taking a long time to get to the Is it working for anyone? Okay. Just let me see if this is okay. Let me see if I can access this. Yeah, it's working. Awesome. Okay, it's all right. We can do it when we have the templates. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left. So I just want to sum up everything and then I want to show you what we're going to be doing next week. Okay, so next week, we will actually be learning very quickly on Bootstrap. And there is a framework that we'll be using. So we would actually create something like this. And of course, what we're going to do is we're going to create exactly how it is over here. And then we're going to make changes to it, right? So the concept of our website that we just learned on our Learn Islam website, we're going to use this company-based website to change it to our theme. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. Don't worry, it's a step-by-step instruction, right? So all the details are here. Okay, all the details are here. We'll do it slowly because now that you already know the elements and CSS, that is all that is required to do this. Okay, it is a template, but we're going to build the template from scratch in a sense that we're just going to copy portion of the codes and we are going to build something like this. So the end product would be something like this. Let's start from here. I'll show you the demo. So this is how it will be. Okay. So there is one section here for the header or for the hero image, and then another section here about the company page, and then another section here, and another section here. You see over here, they're using icons, and another section over here. So we're going to be using this. First, we will set this up on our computer. And then after that, we will make the necessary changes using the editor. And eventually we will have a website which is based on the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is a framework that is used to build a website quickly, and they have the basic elements. I'm sure you know what elements are by now. So we have the basic elements and it's also responsive. Okay, so how to know if it's responsive? Some of you might know this. You can just right click here, click on inspect or inspect element. And you see over here on the right side, I can change to the desired device. So this is how it will look on the iPad. Okay. So we can use this to see whether it's responsive or not. That means whether does it change in accordance to the device width. Yeah, I managed to do it. I think, okay, alhamdulillah, that's good. You are, okay, good, Brother Hamza. All right, I'll send you this link for the Bootstrap. If you want to try before the class next week, it's also possible. You can also do that. So just click on this is the link. So this is what we will be doing for our next 2 lessons. The first step, we will set this up on our local machine. The second step is we will make the changes with regards to our Learn Islam website. Okay. There's about another 5 minutes left. Do you have any questions? Right click on the page. Right click on any page. Click on inspect. Can you see this? I'll do it again. Go to website, click on the page. On the menu, it's either inspect or inspect element. If you're using Chrome, should be inspect. Using trackpad, sorry. Or if you're using trackpad, how do you do right click? It's a right click. I think you have to click on the button, right? You need to access the right click.
I think, is there anything else?
Yeah, waiting for if there's any questions. All okay. Is everybody good? Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, Brother Isham, then if that's the case, then we can close, we can do the closing.
Everyone else, just everyone next week again, inshallah. Same time, Saturday and Sunday, we'll do by 5 p.m. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك واشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك.
وفيك بارك الله.